Hey everyone, it's Mrs. Pierce. Today we're going to take a few minutes to chat about PICC courses. As you're enrolled to take a class for the first time, I'm hoping this little presentation provides some clarity, answers some questions you may have, or may provoke some questions for you to stop in and ask me about in person. So we'll go ahead and get started. First, by just talking about what the classes you have signed up for are. So a PICC course is a dual credit class that is available through NICC, which is our local community college here at West Delaware. When taking these courses, students earn both high school and college credit, and it is the start of your college transcript, which is really important, and we'll talk about later on. PSEO is a little bit different than the PICC classes, as these are dual credit classes, same as the PICC courses, but they are offered through four-year institutions. Another difference is that the PICC courses are offered to grades 9 through 12. PSEO are only offered to grades 11 and 12. We a lot of times see more students taking the PICC option, so today we're going to focus mainly on that when talking about all this information. So how do these classes work and how do I earn credit for them? So all PICC and PSEO courses are worth one high school credit, but they run for a semester in length. So when you look at the credits you'll be earning for these classes, you will earn one elective credit for each class you take. However, on the college end of it, you may be earning 2, 3, 4 credits, just depending on the how the course is determined by the institution. So as I mentioned, these classes do run for a semester in length, roughly about 16 weeks. And there are two different options students can have them put into their schedule. So the first option is that the course will be scheduled during one block for one term of the semester. So during the other term of that semester, so say for instance you're taking this class during terms 1 and 2, you have it in your schedule for term 1. The second half of the class during term 2, you'll be expected to complete the coursework outside the school day. You will not have designated time during the day to work on the class. This is because you're only earning one credit for the class that you're taking. And by having the classes run over 2 semesters, you're obviously going to miss out on earning a credit somewhere else. And we don't want to put anybody in that predicament. The second option is if a student takes a PICC course opposite of their third hour skidding course, typically for our music students, it will run for the entire length of the semester. So just those two options of how it can be put in your schedule. If you have questions, please stop in and see me. Things to consider when you're taking these classes. So like I mentioned, these courses run on a college schedule. Therefore, the start and end dates are typically different within our high school calendar. For the fall semester, typically those classes start prior to the start of West Delaware's school year, and they often finish up prior to the end of our semesters and terms. So there's a couple weeks at the end of this semester where your class is over, but we're still running with the semester here at West Delaware. Textbooks are provided for students. Just note that if the textbooks are not returned or return damaged, that you will be billed for the cost of the book. These classes do go on your high school and college transcripts. Like, I can't reiterate that enough, that this is the start of your college transcript and can have some major implications for once you've moved on past West Delaware. And we'll talk a little bit more about that here in a minute. And you will earn one elective high school credit per course that you pass. PICC grades are calculated into both your high school and college GPA, and students are expected to work independently and directly contact their college or instructor for assistance with things like password, homework assistance, login information, things like that. Unfortunately, here in the counseling office, we do not have that information, and in order to access it, they do require personalized information and require they talk to the actual student. So we can help get those things for you, make those connections, but at the end of the day, we cannot do it for you. Another thing to think about is that these are all in online formats, so it is a very independent, self-driven course. So you want to think about who you are as a learner. The things that you could be asking yourself is, are you a procrastinator? How do you stay organized? What does your schedule look like? Do you have time to work on these classes outside of the school day? What if you have a problem in a class? Are you the type of person who has to talk face-to-face? Do you feel comfortable calling on the phone or communicating over email? All important things to think about when taking these courses. And like I said earlier, it is up to the students to be first contacting their course instructor or college with questions they have. Happy to help support in any way I can, but unfortunately, like I said, we just typically don't have the answers you're looking for. So many may be thinking, well, geez, I've never taken this course before. How can I answer those questions about what to expect in the course? Well, take a deep breath. Don't worry. You do have an option if you get into your course at the beginning of this semester and say, well, this is way more than I expected. I really don't think I'm interested in the course. I just don't want to take it. You're not trapped in taking the course. So students will have the first 3 days of the term, just like they do with any other class, to change their schedule and to drop the course without any penalty. Outside of this window, students have the potential to withdraw from the class. However, that will be noted on their college transcript, and that does have the potential to affect financial aid in the future. As well as W's, receiving an F in a class also has can have an impact on your future college planning. Students who have several F's or W's on a transcript may be suspended or limited from taking additional courses, college credit coursework here at West Delaware, as well as upon entering college, financial aid may be deferred or denied. So definitely take these classes seriously if you're choosing to stay in them, because they do have some big impacts for you later on down the road. So when we get into the start of the semester, I will be sending out lots of information to you guys on how to access your courses, when deadlines are, when drop dates are, all sorts of that information. So it is so important that you guys are checking your email regularly so that you aren't missing any important information. NICC will also be sending registration information to you through the mail and through email. So the email you listed on your registration form, that's when they're going to be contacting you through. It's important to remember that you're now an NICC student. So when you are getting stuff in the mail, do not just throw it away. It's not junk mail. It is important to you to read it. So I've had a lot of people come in saying that I never got that in the mail. Well, my guess is it probably got tossed away, thinking it's junk mail, because I know you guys get some stuff from lots of colleges and it might not always be pertinent, but be sure you are keeping an eye on those things. So once you're enrolled in the class, your instructor will indicate what method of communication they will utilize. You will have an NICC email, but they'll kind of let you know what works best for them. So when you think about getting started, you will be receiving a letter in the mail, like I mentioned, and this is kind of an example of what that letter will look like. It'll be addressed to you, and it'll have all the information you need to get started, your username, your password, how to access these things. All the information is on this sheet. It also has things like who to contact, this help desk here. If you're having a hard time, if your password isn't working, they're the people to go to. But this kind of gives you an idea. This is what you'll be looking for in the mail. So keep an eye out for that if you haven't already received it. Let's see here. Oops. Get back to full screen here. Another thing to know too is that even though we have this training for you guys on like West Delaware's end and perspective, NICC also has their Brightspace tutorial. This is highly recommended. It shows you how to use NICC platforms, their Brightspace program, how you'll be accessing your course online. So do take the time to do this. This is highly recommended for first-time students to go through this tutorial. Okay, so in case you're left thinking about, geez, I'm not sure what to expect, where to go from here, I do have some advice for some students who have taken these classes before in the past, a few things that they just kind of give out to students, things that they wish they may have known. So obviously you can see here some of the things. Make sure you're keeping track of your deadlines. Use the syllabus. These courses do require some effort, so be sure you're ready for that. And make sure you have the time to do these courses. A couple of the ones that really stood out to me was being sure you know yourself as a learner and as a student and what you are looking to get out of these classes. And also this one at the bottom here is great. Don't hesitate to call the help desk, email your professor, or contact the guidance office if you have questions. All of these people are here to help you, and you are never an inconvenience. And I cannot reiterate that enough. I am here to support you guys. I want to help you guys through this process. There are going to be lots of questions and bumps along the road, but that's okay. You have people here to help and support you. So be sure that you are asking questions when they come up. So as I said, I'm Mrs. Pierce. I'm the person you can go to contact any questions you may have regarding your PICC or PSCO courses. I'm found in the counseling office, so my email is here as well. NICC is also a great place too, and like I said, any kind of issues you're having with technical stuff, they can help you out as well. So if you have any questions, I hope this provided some clarity and some insight, and may it provoke some questions for you, which is even better. Stop by the counseling office or shoot me an email if you have any questions. But until then, be on the lookout for emails coming from me on when the start of your course will be. Thanks, guys, and have a great day.